pray to God to help me find my true love, but I think he is busy with other topics than affections of the heart. Last night I prayed to Cupid to help me find a man that will not put me down, but bring me up, make me laugh, have a full-time job or two jobs, have his own place, good with his money, does not hit women, kind to others, loves cats and dogs, never wants children, is taller than me, I'm 6 feet 5 inches, is adventurous, loves the outdoors, does not do drugs, including smoking cigarettes, calls more than texts, knows how to hang out with people instead of always being on the phone, works out at least 3 days a week for half an hour or more, and is not religious. It is a list I am sure Cupid can fulfill, because I will settle for no less. Being 33 and having all my younger friends be married already is sad. I never had a serious relationship. My longest one was 11 months. It should have been shorter though. But I was a stupid 23-year-old with a first boyfriend. The sex and kissing were addicting to even ignore his hurtful words. But eventually I snapped and ended things and never looked back. The rest of the guys wanted children, while one didn't want commitment. I believe I am ready for the one and deserve to meet him now. My younger sister Ariel is getting married. I am one of her bridesmaids, not the maid of honor, because of my busy work life. This is the last wedding I'm going to, unless the next one is mine. The bridesmaids wear a strapless long turquoise bodycon dress, and when we get to the altar, we sit and put our mermaid tails on. The groomsmen are dressed as pirates, and when Ariel and Frederick stop kissing, they carry the bridesmaids away. Ariel is in a blood-red, over-the-shoulders ruffled dress, while Frederick is in a shark gray suit. After the kissing, a little bit of the Jaws music plays, which is when Frederick pretends to eat Ariel. They wanted to input that because Jaws brought them together in the theater. Ariel was eating popcorn, then she screamed at a scene and started choking. Frederick heard her from a row behind and saved her with the Heimlich maneuver. Then they watched the rest of the movie cuddled together. They have stuck to each other like ocean and sea salt. Ariel is going to kill me if I'm late to her wedding. Now that a cop has pulled me over for speeding, I think I'll be late. It doesn't help that Bad by Michael Jackson is playing over the radio. The part that says, "The word is out, you're doing wrong, gonna lock you up," is when the cop reaches my car door and I turn off the radio. I can tell by the look on his face that he is trying not to laugh when he asks, "Do you realize how fast you were going?" I'm trying to get to my sister's wedding, my GPS died, and none of the stores around here have maps. Paradise Beach isn't far. It's just that there are so many quick turns to take, and if you miss one, you miss the beach. If you do not mind following me, I know how to get there. I would appreciate that, thank you. I don't have time to ask how he knew my sister's wedding was at that particular beach. When he starts driving, I follow, and my reward is arriving at my sister's wedding with 1 minute to spare. I get out of my car and head over to the cop's car to thank him again, but I hear him get a call about a drug bust and needing backup. He looks at me while talking on the walkie that he is coming to help, then tells me, "See you later," and drives off to the drug bust location. I run as best I can in heels to the beach house reserved for the bridesmaids to place my bag that holds my dancing dress, mermaid tail, makeup to reapply, my present to Ariel, and dancing shoes. In the corner from the door that has my name on it, I hear the wedding song start already, so I grab hold of my mermaid tail and find my partner. "You're cutting it close, Myrna. We're up next." My partner sees me running to him. Down the altar we go. As soon as I put on my mermaid tail, I zone out, wanting to be doing work instead of being here. My partner picks me up and takes me back to the beach house to change. I am glad to be out of my mermaid outfit and into a dress I can dance in. When I am done, I take my bag back to my car, planning to leave after talking to Ariel and giving her a present. I find Ariel, hug her, hand her the present, and drive off to get to my assignment on time. I should explain my jobs. I am a spy for the US government during the week, while the weekends I pet sit Becky's Pitbull Happy and short-haired red cat Cuddles. Becky is my neighbor who lives a couple blocks from my house. She works from home during the week, selling vacation packages over the phone for Dreams on Us, while over the weekends she is a product demonstrator at Costco. Besides paying me cash, she also gives me leftover coupons for the food and beverages she tries to sell. So far, my spy work has not intervened with my pet sitting. My assignment today is to watch Demon's every move. Demon has been accused of theft, violence, and murder. It has been hard to get him convicted. Witnesses came forth, then were killed off before testifying in court. Even some of the jurors were killed off. No one wants to mess with Demon. It is a good thing I have spied for, I lost count how many years, but plenty enough to help bring Demon to justice. Demon owns Bros and Hoes, which stands before me. Ugh, I hate this club already, and I haven't even entered it yet. After I am let in by security, I head to the bar. While waiting for my watermelon margarita, I take in the scenery. Disco balls spinning, the dance floor color changing every 5 minutes, disco music blaring, many people seeming to have fun in their disco move ways. I have not spotted Demon yet. Sipping on my drink, I notice the cop who pulled me over is sitting across from me. Why do cops think they can get away with a cheap disguise? A mustache and a goatee? At least dye your hair or get a wig and get different color contact lenses. I didn't know you can grow a mustache and a goatee overnight. I whisper into the cop's ear when he sits next to me. I have placed my hand on his knee to look like I'm flirting. This is no place for a bridesmaid. He places my hand back onto my lap. I tilt my head, lightly glaring at him, for half a minute, then chuck the last quarter of my watermelon margarita and head to the dance floor. I move my feet behind together step, as well as sway around the dance floor. When I stop dancing, I see Demon staring at me while coming down the stairs. I do not run to the exit, even though a little voice inside my head screams it. Your red dress caught my attention. It is my favorite color. I had to talk to you. Demon stands an inch away from my face. Why did no one bother to look into his favorite color so that I wouldn't wear it? I'm glad I caught someone's attention. One of my eyebrows rises to show amusement. That cop was not worth your time. He smiles when he sees a security guard escort the cop outside. After they exit, 5 business-looking men also exit. Shoot, they're going to kill him and make it look like something else happened. Wow, that guy was a cop? My head sticks out, while my eyes bug out, faking surprise. With the drink and dancing, I need to use the restroom. I walk to the restroom and stay inside for a couple minutes, then manage to go outside without Demon watching. 6 against 1. I am not surprised that the cop is on the ground. While they draw their guns on him, I draw my ninja star, throwing it into the middle hand of the one closest to the cop. He yells out while the others search who tossed it. I kick behind the knee of one with my heel, hearing a bone creak. The one close to the cop punches out at my face and abdomen, which I feel with the arms I block with. He focuses on my top section. He left his privates vulnerable, which I stab at with my heel. He will be down for a while. I start carrying the cop to my car until the other 4 catch up with us. The cop shoots one in the kneecap, about to shoot another, until one kicks his gun out of his hands. The last three smirk like they won. Why do guys think girls only use surprise attacks, heels, and one piece of metal to fight? Such idiots. When one is about to get a grip on my wrist, I push on my bracelet. It starts shooting out daggers. Several embed themselves into the guy's fingers, while the other two take cover behind dumpsters. I manage to half drag the cop into my car, smacking him awake because he is losing consciousness due to blood loss. I ask for his name. Brian Trenner. Yours? I don't have time to answer while calling 911 and driving to the nearest hospital. My GPS tells me to go. Good thing I found a charger before entering the dance club, or else I would have gotten lost. Two cops are outside the hospital when I pull up. When the cops help the nurses put Brian on a stretcher, I look for parking. To save time, I just go straight to the third floor, not bothering to look for other spots closer. What kind of hospital parking lot doesn't have an elevator? I guess the hospital is promoting stay in shape. While walking to the hospital, I call my boss. I saved a cop from Demon's men. It would have been nice to know his favorite color is red. I'm a target of interest as well as being on his kill list. You wouldn't be on his kill list if you didn't save the cop now, would you? I am bait now. He is going to try to kill me. What makes you say that? He can have his men do that. Like I said earlier, he is interested in me. He will feel betrayed that I defended a cop who was there to bring him down, so he will try to kill me personally. Must I remind you, you are a spy. You are not supposed to be in the thick of it. You are supposed to be in the background. Spies can make mistakes. I have to check on Brian and be questioned by his buddies. I find out he is on the 5th floor, so I head for the elevator. We are not done. I turn off my phone. I'm going to get fired, not looking forward to finishing that talk once I'm done being the bait. I put that issue on the shelf once the elevator doors open. I step out to see two cops outside Brian's room. Once they see me, I am bombarded with questions. It has been a long day. I do not answer their questions, just go into Brian's room. He looks at me like I'm out of this world, while I check him over to see if he is alright. Last time I saw you, you were going to your sister's wedding. Why leave that safety? He glared at me. If I was still there, you would be dead. You're welcome, by the way. Now that I see you are physically alright, I'm going to go. I turn my back to Brian. No, you're not going to go. You are interfering with the police investigation. I saw what your bracelet can do. No ordinary person can obtain something like that. If you're not going to answer my fellow cops' questions, you will answer mine. Of course I will, since you're asking so nicely. I swirl around. What is your job? Clearly, you don't know the definition of being sarcastic. I'm not going to answer any of your questions. First, you look at me like I'm out of this world. Then you continuously glare at me. You can give a woman whiplash doing that. I storm out of his room, past his cop buddies, and out of the hospital. When I am in my car, I slam the door shut, breathing in and out while closing my eyes until my breathing no longer sounds like a bull ready to charge. I start my car, looking at the clock. 10:30 p.m. It took me half an hour to calm down from stupid Brian's mood swings. About to drive off, I hear a tap on my window and see it's one of Brian's buddies. I lower my window. Brian wanted me to give you our card. His number's on the back. He was hoping that you can arrange a meeting with him soon so that he can apologize and thank you properly, as well as get your name. He smiled nervously, like I might lash out at him while holding out the card. I take the card from him. I'll think about it, then drive home. In Becky's house, I stare at the cop card, debating whether to call Brian or not. Happy decides for me by licking my hand constantly, which holds the cop card. I decide that Happy is saying yes, Call him now so that I can meet him when you walk me. Pacing back and forth behind the couch, hoping Brian doesn't pick up. After the fifth ring, I hear, "This is Brian. Who is this?" "You may call me Ryla. I am calling to find out if you can meet me today at 10 a.m. in Sunset Park. I'll be walking my neighbor's dog Happy, who is a pit bull. I'm off work today, so I can meet you there." "Where's the park exactly?" Mind you, I've never been to this park. "Once you park, there's a trail to a playground where a section of floor squirts up water. Continue on the trail, there's a snake. Past that is a baseball field. After that, a little bridge, and you will see swings as well as benches on the other side of them. When we are done with our chat near the swings, the trail circles around to the parking lot." "You want me to pass a snake?" "It's not real. It's a piece of artwork. Any more questions, Indiana Jones?" "Haha, yes. Is there a last name that goes with Ryla?" "I'm going to save you time by not answering that question. See you at the park." I end the call. It is 2 hours before 10 a.m., so I play catch and release in the backyard with Happy to eliminate some of his energy. It helps him not be jumpy when meeting strangers. Before heading out, I fill up Cuddles' bowls with food and water, then lock up. I should have known catch and release wasn't enough to rid Happy of his energy. Sunset Park is his favorite park. As soon as he sees the parking lot, he starts whining. I hold on to his leash and start jogging. He jogs alongside me. We head into the floor squirters, then stop near the snake space where Happy pees. He does this every time. I believe in a past life he was bitten by a snake, so he hates all snakes, whether they are real or not. After his pee routine, we head to the benches. It doesn't take long until Brian shows up. Happy sniffs Brian's hand that he offers, licks it, then sits up against him, laying his head on his lap. "I'm glad that you decided to meet with me. I want to apologize to you about my behavior yesterday. I was worried about your safety. I have been trained to take care of myself." Which brings me to my first question. What do you know? At least not yet. I stick my finger close to Brian's face. My question first. How did you know where my sister's wedding was? My brow rises in question. I was invited by David, one of the groomsmen. I declined the invitation due to working that day. Now that I think about it, it's interesting that you call yourself Ryla. Because when David called me, trying to convince me to change my schedule to go, he called you by a different name. Care to explain which name is truly yours, if any? I'm going to get fired anyway, plus you are a cop. You should know how to keep secrets. Stick with Ryla until I get fired. I lean closer to Brian's ear so only he can hear. I am a spy for the US government. I have helped them gather intel on dangerous people to put them away. Why are you getting fired if you help them put away dangerous people? In most of my cases, I have been in the thick of it. This case against Demon was the last straw. I stand out when I am supposed to blend in. It is a fatal flaw for a spy. Perhaps you should pet sit full time. There is less danger in doing that. That would make Happy and Cuddles jealous. I can do that to them. I am considering being a cop, perhaps be your partner, seeing as I saved your life. You're in need of a partner. No. Brian glares at me and stops petting Happy. Are you the type of boy who gets intimidated by women who can take care of themselves? I'm not going to watch another partner get killed. Brian's eyes are no longer glaring, but hurt. My eyes do not leave his. The only sounds being made are the wind and children at play. We do not speak for several minutes, just stare into each other's eyes, our eyes doing all the talking needed at the moment. Happy starts whining and pawing at Brian's hand. I stand up, gripping Happy's leash, letting him know we are going to walk again. Let's take a walk. I motion Brian with my head to an empty, grassy area. When I face Happy, I see he has a frisbee in his mouth. Ew, he doesn't know where that's been, or maybe he does but just doesn't care. Drop, I command Happy. When he drops the frisbee, I inspect it, and his mouth for insects. One ant is inside the frisbee. I squish that ant between my fingers while staring at Happy's mouth. No ants. Plus, if there were, he would be whining. Brian picks up the frisbee and tosses it. Happy and I run after it. We play catch the frisbee 15 times before heading back to our cars. You mentioned being in the thick of it with most of your cases, including Demon. What do you mean by that exactly? My cases have found out about me. Never my true identity, though. There's a commotion in my hideaways. I knock them out, and the cops come. I get the job done. I just do it loudly. I open the door for Happy to hop in. Then I settle in, starting the car. Try not to be so loud when you take down Demon, Brian shouts when I cruise by him. I can't make any promises, I yell back, exiting the park, heading back to Becky's house. Several cars are parked outside my house. I don't know any of them. They must work for Demon. I park inside Becky's garage before they see my car. While letting Happy out, I call Brian. I must have left quite an impression because Demon and his men are at my place, which is close to Becky's place. 399 Wilder Way. My cell phone is shot out of my hand, hitting the wall, its parts flying to the floor. Hand over your bracelet or you die. Demon aims his gun at my head. I am happy to comply. I slowly unclasp my bracelet. Ah! Demon lowers his gun to Happy's head, who is biting his calf. I tackle Demon to the ground. His gun flies off into the opposite direction. I manage to pin him down, but not for long, because one of his men enters and kicks into my back. I fall behind Demon, but continue to roll myself to Happy, who is sitting next to Demon's gun behind my car. Taking cover, I reclasp my bracelet, push on it, and send daggers shooting into legs beneath my car. More of his men enter the garage and start shooting up my car. Glass is everywhere. My poor car deserves a better owner. On every assignment, it has gotten damaged somehow. One of their bullets grazes my pinky. I stop my bracelet from shooting any more daggers and cover Happy and myself behind one of my tires for full cover. Cop alarms sound nearby. Two of Demon's men, still standing, approach us, about to shoot us. Before I reactivate my bracelet, I see Cuddles climbing up one of them. What the? Oh, my eyes! One of the men that Cuddles scratches the eyes off of smacks into the other man. Cuddles leaps onto the other man, managed to scratch off one of his eyes before getting smacked off. I catch Cuddles before she could hit up against anything life-threatening. Cuddles purrs against me. There's the Cuddles I know and love, but I guess everyone has their demon moments. I kick the guns out of the men's hands. The one with one good eye kicks my abdomen before I lower my leg back down, causing me to fall onto my back. Happy growls while Cuddles hisses when the man gets closer. Ryla! Brian looks at the bodies moaning on the ground. Behind my car, I get up and punch the man in the face so hard he falls to his knees. I notice Brian's cop buddies and more are handcuffing everyone. Brian checks me over while cops load Demon and his men into vehicles and drive off. You are lucky we got here when we did. Oh, please, I wasn't completely damsel in distress. Most of them were down. I look into Brian's eyes. Cuddles purrs, rubbing up against Brian's ankles. Of course, she wants attention now that there is a new kind male human around. Before I can chicken out of calling my boss, I borrow Brian's cell while he pets Cuddles and Happy. It did not even ring once. Ryla, it could have been any other. What happened to your cell phone? met a wall that didn't agree with it. Of course it did. You're lucky this is an untraceable number, or else you would be going to jail. Demon's in custody, I heard. I am still getting fired. Yes. Tonight, someone will retrieve the car, eliminate all your identities from every system. So create a good identity, because that will be your last and only identity. They will also retrieve weapons, clothing, and accessories. No link to you or us after tonight. The boss hangs up. I let Brian know his cell phone will explode in 3 minutes, and his records will also be cleared. I have been trying to come up with an excuse to update my phone. Now I have one. Brian grins at me. After his cell explodes, I pick up bits of my cell and his and place them in a bag to give to the cleaner that will come by my place tonight. Wait at my place. I need to talk to Becky. I hand Brian my car and house keys when I hear Becky open her garage door. When I finish cleaning up the glass so that Happy and Cuddles can move around, Becky gets out of her car. Cuddles, Happy, you're safe. Becky clutches onto them. It is my fault they were endangered. This is my last day, due to needing to move and you probably firing me. I walk up to Becky. You were a good pet sitter to them, but like you said, you endangered them today. That I cannot ignore. I will not pay you for today because of what has happened, but take these coupons, you will need them. Becky hands me coupons for energy bars. I take the coupons, look at Cuddles and Happy one last time, and then walk to my house. Brian lets me in when I ring the doorbell. What are you going to do now? Brian sits on the couch watching me pace around the living room. I've spied since I was 18 years old. They gave me independence by teaching me how to fight and live on my own. As for the pet sitting, I have done that for 3 years. It's going to be strange not having those positions anymore. By the way, Bryla and Myrna are not my real names. I don't even remember my real name. I must not have liked it that much. Plus, it was erased from the system to protect my sister. I take off my red wig, green colored contact lenses, straight teeth, and straight nose mask. By taking off the nose mask, I also revealed that my tan skin tone is not my skin tone. I am on the paler side. Anything else you would like to reveal, Mrs. Doubtfire? Ha ha. My nose is misaligned because I was hit by a fellow student and didn't have the money to fix it. Then I grew to like it. Due to genes, I have straight upper teeth, while lower, a little overlay at the front. As for my half right front upper tooth, it happened on my first assignment. He planned to saw one tooth at a time, but my partner arrived and killed him. I had a partner because I didn't have enough fighting and sneakery skills or experience. Once I gained those, I was left to my own devices. My brown eyes look into his green eyes. Brian gets off the couch, walks toward me, turns his back, and takes off his shirt. My fingers brush over a bullet scar on his right shoulder, a dagger scar on his left hip, and a burn on his right hip. He puts his shirt back on when we hear a knock at the front door. When I answer, I see a man get out of a car with trash bags, preparing to pack things up, and the woman who knocked enters. She sees the garage door opener and hands it to the man. I hear him packing away in the garage. The woman places a laptop onto the living room counter and starts typing away. Fingerprints. She hands me 2 half CDs that can take both sides of my fingerprints. Once I finish, I hand them over. She clicks the 2 halves into one and inserts it into the laptop to read. Just several clicks more, and all the identities I ever had vanish. What name would you like? She hovers over the keys. Bexy Wally Rivera. Half an hour later, she prints out a birth certificate and social security card. The last thing to do is hand over the bracelet. Unclasping it, Memories rush me of the times it has come in handy, which was most of the time. It is time for a new adventure with new help. When I hand over the bracelet, I walk out of the house